Hi, what is up YouTube? Thank you for tuning in. Today I'm going to show you how to install Windows and Linux in dual boot. And you get to choose which one to use when you turn on the computer. Alright, so I already have Windows 10 installed in this computer, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to just go ahead and reinstall Windows. Alright, so next step, we're going to go ahead and install Windows 10. So if you are not planning to reinstall Windows 10, you can go ahead and skip over to this time right here on the screen. So with that, if you are planning to reinstall Windows 10, then here is the step-by-step guide. So you want to open your favorite browser, and then you're going to search Windows 10 download, and then you're going to pick the first link. And this is going to take you to the Microsoft web page where you can download the ISO file for Windows 10. Alright, so this is the web page. You have the update, and then below you have download now. This is the create the Windows 10 installation media. This is what you need, so you're going to go ahead and click on download now. This is going to download the media creation tool, and when you're going to go ahead and run it. Alright, so you want to go ahead and read the license agreements, accept them. Alright, and as you can see, what do you want to do? So we have upgrade this PC, and we have on the second spot create installation media. This is what we need, so you're going to go ahead and select create installation media. So on this step, you're going to need a USB flash drive. I think it has to be 8 gigs or more. So you're going to go ahead and connect the flash drive to the computer. So flash drive is connected to the computer. You want to go ahead and click next. English, Windows 10, and then the architecture 64 bits. And then you're going to go ahead and click next. Alright, so choose which media to use. So we have a USB flash drive, so this is what we're going to go ahead and select, and then next. And as you can see, this is our flash drive, as you can see. And then you're going to go ahead and make sure it's selected, and then next. And on this step, it's going to go ahead and download the ISO file for Windows 10, and it's going to flash it onto your flash drive. Alright, so after a little bit of waiting, our USB flash drive is now ready, as you can see. And this process took about 30 minutes, so you're gonna have to be patient on that. So we can go ahead and click finish. So now you're gonna go ahead and eject the flash drive correctly. Don't just pull it out. You have to eject it first, and now disconnect it, and now we're ready to install Windows. Alright guys, so our bootable drive is ready, so we're gonna go ahead and shut down the computer. You're gonna go ahead and connect the flash drive to the computer. On some laptops you may not be able to use the trackpad, so you're gonna have a mouse handy just in case. You're gonna have to set up the BIOS to boot from the flash drive instead of the computer's hard drive. So you have to do that through the BIOS menu. So to access the BIOS menu, you're gonna go ahead and turn on the computer and press the F10 key. So power button, and then the F10 continuously. So once in the BIOS, you're gonna be able to use the directional keys on the keyboard to navigate the BIOS. And as you can see, you're gonna go to the boot section, and you're gonna go ahead and enable the USB boot. As you can see right here on the screen, it's already activated. And then you're gonna leave everything else like this. So you have legacy also disabled, secure boot also disabled. Usually this is enabled by default, so you're going to disable it. and then you're gonna go to the next section where you have UEFI boot order, and then you're gonna change the order by using your F6 and F5 keys as stated right here on the help section. F6 and F5 to change the boot order. As you can see, you want USB flash drive to be the first boot order, and then the OS boot manager as second. Alright, so this way when you turn on the computer with a bootable drive connected to it, it's gonna give priority to the flash drive instead of the hard drive. So that's all set. So you're gonna go ahead and press F10. That's gonna save the changes and click enter. And then you can go ahead and connect the flash drive back. And as the computer reboots, it's gonna go ahead and start Windows from your flash drive. Alright, and as you can see, this is the Windows installation page. So you're gonna go ahead and select your language, and then the time and currency format, then your keyboard input method, then you're gonna go ahead and click next, and then you're gonna go to install now. So here you're gonna go ahead and accept the license terms, click next, and then you're gonna select custom, and this is going to give you a breakdown of all your partitions on the drive. And this is really helpful, especially if you have more than one drive in the computer, so you can manage, decide where you want to install it. And I have a single drive in this computer, and as you can see, I have multiple partitions, so I'm going to go ahead and delete them. So there would be only one partition in the drive. That's gonna help you use your storage a lot efficiently. All right, so as you can see, I have a single drive of 119 gigs, and yeah, I can go ahead and select the only unallocated space, and then click next to start the installation. And as you can see, you just have to wait until the installation process is done. From here, you're just going to go ahead and set up your computer as when it was brand new, and then we're going to start installing Linux in dual boot with Windows. Alright, so the next step is to go ahead and download the ISO of Ubuntu. This is the distro we have decided to go with because Ubuntu is one of the most popular Linux distributions. So we're going to go ahead and Google Ubuntu, and then we're going to go ahead and select the download. You're going to go to the downloads, and then you're going to go ahead and download Ubuntu desktop. And as you can see, we have the version 22.04 LTS or long-term support. So we're going to go ahead and download that version. And as you can see, the download begins right here, and it's around 3.5 gigs. So while this is downloading, we're gonna go ahead and open a new tab where we're gonna go ahead and download Rufus. Select the first link, and this is a program that we're gonna use to flash the ISO onto our flash drive. So you're gonna go ahead and go down to the download section, and then you're gonna select the version you want to download. The latest is 3.18, and we have Rufus right here. Alright, so now both are downloaded, so we're gonna go ahead and minimize the browser, and then we're gonna go ahead and connect our flash drive to the computer. Run Rufus. Yes. And as you can see, this is the UI. So you're gonna go ahead and see your flash drive pop up on the receipt page, as you can see here. And then you have a boot selection, and we're planning to use an ISO file that we just downloaded right here. As you can see, this is the Ubuntu file. We're gonna make sure that ISO is selected, and then we're gonna go ahead and select the file right here and then open. So that's loaded, and then you're gonna go ahead and select a partition scheme. We have master boot record or MBR, but GPT is more recent, so we're gonna select GPT, and it's gonna automatically select our target system, which is UEFI, as you saw on our BIOS. From here, we're gonna leave everything by default and go ahead and click start. And a warning, everything is gonna be erased from the flash drive. So okay, and we're just gonna go ahead and agree to this prompt, and everything we do is just wait until this process is over. We are done creating the bootable drive for Ubuntu, so we're gonna go ahead and close, and as usual we're gonna eject properly, and then we can go ahead and disconnect our flash drive, connect our bootable drive to the computer, and the BIOS is still set to boot from the flash drive. We haven't changed it. Turn the computer on. You have a menu. You have try or install Ubuntu. Select enter. Alright, so this is the welcome screen. It takes a little bit of waiting. Try Ubuntu. This is if you want to check it out before installing, just in case. But we want to just go ahead and hit install Ubuntu after selecting our language. Alright, so you have your keyboard layout, language, and you can go ahead and test your keyboard by typing anything right here, which works. So you're gonna go ahead and click on continue, and here you can go ahead and connect it to your Wi-Fi. It's gonna allow you to download updates during the installation, but we want to skip that. It's gonna install faster. Continue, and here you have a normal installation, which is going to install your web browser, utilities, office software, games, and media player. And you also have a minimalistic installation, which is going to only limit the installation to a web browser and the basic utility. So we want a normal installation, so we want all of these stuff. And then we're going to go ahead and install the third-party software for graphic and Wi-Fi hardware. So let's check that box and then continue. All right, so here you have installation type, and you have the first option says erase disk and install Ubuntu, which is going to delete everything. This is not what we want because we already have Windows 10 installed on the drive. So we're going to go with something else, then continue. So a lot have changed since the last time. Before, it would just give you a bar that you slide left and right to allocate space to Windows and Ubuntu, but that have changed obviously. Alright, so since we do not have the slider to easily change the storage, we want to go ahead and quit this installation and go back on Windows and create a free storage for Ubuntu. So disconnected the drive. So we're gonna have to restart the computer. Alright, so we're back on Windows 10. So we're gonna right click on the start menu icon and then disk management, and then we're gonna go ahead and right click on the main disk right here. This is the main disk 0. This is the whole drive, 119 gigs. So we're gonna, this is the main partition right here where Windows is installed. You don't want to mess with the healthy partition and the recovery partition. You only want to mess with the C drive, which has the most space. As you can see, 118.63. So you want to right click that and then you're gonna shrink. So the shrinking, you're gonna go ahead and choose how much you want to allocate to your new drive. So let's go ahead and put 50,000 just right here, which is going to be 50 gigs. This is in megabytes, so you're going to go ahead and hit shrink. And as you can see, now you have one unallocated drive right here that you want to keep unallocated, so you can easily identify it on Ubuntu installation page. So now you have 69 gigs for Windows and around 48 and change gigs that you're gonna keep for Ubuntu installation. So you wanna go ahead and close this back, and then you're gonna restore the computer, and then restore. Obviously, we're gonna connect the flash drive, so it's gonna reboot from it. All right, so one more time, we're gonna go ahead and select try or install Ubuntu. By the way, the second save graphic is for those who are using unsupported graphic cards, like some NVIDIA graphic cards. If you run into issues with graphics, you can go ahead and use the second option, save graphics. So we're gonna choose try or install. All right, so now we have installed Ubuntu alongside Windows Boot Manager. We didn't have this before, but I guess because we created the new partition, it now added this option right here, but we're not going to use it. We're going to use something else, and then continue. And from here, we're going to look for free space. And as you can see, this is it right here. You want to pay attention to the size of it. We set up 50 gigs and it was around 48 and change. So this is the closest one, but this is what's going to help you the most. It says free space. You're sure that you're not going to erase anything from Windows. And also, if you have a computer with multiple drives in it, you're gonna make sure you're onto the right drive. So we have the free space selected, but we want to right click it and click add. And as you can see, this is set as primary, and mount point, we're gonna select root. Where is root? Root is right here. This one, / this is the root. And then you're gonna go ahead and click OK. Alright, and on this drop down device for bootloader installation, you're gonna go ahead and select Windows Boot Manager. And then you're gonna go ahead and install now. Okay, you're gonna make sure you double check everything and then install now. It's gonna give you a warning and then you continue. From here, you're gonna go ahead and select your region. And then you're gonna put a name and then a username, and then you can create a password for it. Let's create a password. All right, so we created a password and then we're gonna click continue. And from here, we're just gonna wait until the installation is done. All right, so now the installation is over. So you're gonna go ahead and remove the installation media, and then you're gonna go ahead and restore now. All right, so we restored it, and as you can see, now you have Ubuntu as your first, and then you have advanced option for your second, and then Windows Boot Manager as third, or your BIOS settings as fourth settings. So you're gonna go ahead and select Windows. Let's go ahead and see if we did mess anything up in Windows. So select, and as you can see, it's gonna go ahead and boot on Windows 10. All right. So as you can see, Windows 10 is still functional, nothing wrong. So we can go ahead and restore and boot up onto Ubuntu. So restore, and every time that you restore the computer, you're gonna have this menu pop up, and it's gonna allow you to choose which one you're gonna go ahead and select. And as you can see, there is a time, it's timed at the bottom. If you haven't selected, it's gonna just go ahead and boot on Ubuntu automatically. And as you can see, Ubuntu also works great, no problems. And just like that, let's go ahead and log in. And here is Ubuntu for the first time. Great operating system. All right, so as you can see, we successfully installed Linux with no issues. So yep, thank you for sticking along for this video. As you saw, we just installed Ubuntu in dual drive with Windows 10. If you have any questions, do not hesitate, put them in the comment section. I will do my best to answer. Thank you for watching and see you on the next video.